be real for a second. You aren't living a soft life. You're living a high-interest debt trap, dressed up in beige linen and overpriced lattes while your 401k rots in the corner. I see you, and more importantly, believe me, the marketers see you too. In this section, I am calling out the clean girl aesthetic for what it actually is. A targeted psychological operation designed to keep millennial women in a cycle of perpetual consumerism. We are peeling back that beige filter today to reveal the ugly credit card statements underneath, right? I mean, look, let's be honest. I know the algorithm has been feeding you those get ready with me videos where some 24-year-old influencer spends $400 on skincare before 9 a.m. It looks peaceful, doesn't it? It looks like wellness. But I'm here to tell you that it's a calculated scam. These brands have realized that you're tired, you're overworked, and you're stressed about the economy. So instead of selling you a product, they're selling you an escape. Packaged in a $12 organic green juice and a $120 matching yoga set that's literally never seen a drop of sweat. You think you're prioritizing your peace, but you're actually just subsidizing a lifestyle you can't afford. While you're investing in a $3,000 aesthetic sofa to match your soft girl vibe, the actual investment accounts that matter, your brokerage and your savings, are sitting at zero. Marketers have successfully rebranded financial irresponsibility.
And it's not just the big trips. It's the soft essentials. The $1,200 a year you're spending on overpriced candles, matching lounge sets you don't need, and curated organic lattes just to feel like you've arrived. That's $100 a month. And over 30 years at that same 8% return, that aesthetic lifestyle compounds into nearly $150,000 in lost wealth. You are literally choosing a clean girl apartment today over a debt-free house later. I see so many of you falling for the luxury goods trap under the guise of quality over quantity. Let's look at the actual math of your closet. The moment you walk out of a boutique with a luxury handbag, you've hit a 40% immediate depreciation. It's a liability, disguised as an asset. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 is sitting there with a historical 10% annual gain, not requiring any dry cleaning or status maintenance. You're trading a 10% gain for a 40% loss and calling it elevating your life. It's not elevating, it's evaporating. The marketers have convinced you that being soft means being consumeristic. But the math shows that the soft life is actually a hard-coded poverty trap. You're being sold a dream of relaxation that is mathematically guaranteed to keep you working until you're 80. But that's not even the craziest part of how they've rewired your brain. Because while you're focused on the price tag of the product, you're completely ignoring the psychological cost of the curated identity you're trying to maintain. There was one specific detail about this wealth mindset that the influencers are terrified you'll figure out. Look, I'm handing you the actual playbook to escape this manufactured cage, and I'm calling it the wealth mindset method. It's not about manifesting or journaling, believe me. It's about aggressive mathematical survival. Step 3 is the 72-hour rule. Marketing is designed to trigger your brain's impulse centers, making you feel like that specific aesthetic espresso machine is a biological necessity. I use a mathematical cooling off period. If you see something you need, you wait 72 hours. No exceptions. I found that 90% of the time, the dopamine hit evaporates by day 2. And by day 3, that item looks like exactly what it is. Overpriced plastic destined for a landfill. This isn't about deprivation. It's about the shift from conspicuous consumption, buying things to look successful, to invisible compounding. I'm showing you how to value the numbers in your brokerage account more than the labels in your closet. Because while a $2,000 designer bag loses value the moment you leave the store, $2,000 in an index fund at an 8% average return turns into nearly $10,000 in 20 years without you doing a single thing. But that's just the math on the surface. There is one specific trick that high-end brands are using right now to make sure you never actually reach that $10,000. And it involves a psychological loophole you're probably falling for every single morning. Let's run the numbers on two versions of you, because frankly, the path you're on has two very different exits, and honestly, one of them is a trap. I want you to look at yourself at age 45. In scenario A, I see you chasing the soft life aesthetic, that curated vibe everyone's selling you on Instagram. You've spent 2 decades buying the vibe. You've got the neutral-toned lounge sets that are actually just overpriced polyester, the $12 lattes, and a grid full of curated travel photos. But behind the camera, the reality is hideous. By 45, you've managed to rack up $20,000 in high-interest credit.
But even if you're ready to choose the path of wealth today, there is a hidden force working against you. I mean, there's a specific reason why your brain is literally wired to choose the polyester cage over the $100,000 bank account. It's a psychological trap that the tech giants have perfected to ensure you never actually stay wealthy. It's a concept called relative deprivation, and it's being used to hijack your bank account every single time you unlock your phone. Look, I'm going to be the one to burst your main character bubble, because, well, someone clearly has to. That designer bag you're eyeing, it's not an investment. It's a liability that loses 40% of its value the very second you walk out of the store, right as the security sensor stops beeping. You've been sold a version of the soft life that is, quite frankly, nothing more than a highly curated poverty trap. While you're busy buying aesthetic linen sets just to look like you've made it, the people who actually own those brands are laughing all the way to the bank with your retirement fund. You have to decide right now if you want to look rich or actually be rich, because I promise you, you simply cannot do both on a middle-class salary. True soft living isn't about the thread count of your sheets or the label on your shoes, right? It's the quiet, unshakable peace of mind that comes from seeing $100,000 sitting in an index fund. That's the real luxury. Real luxury is the silence of never having to worry about an emergency expense or a sudden layoff, because you've built a fortress of liquidity around your life. If you're tired of being the marketing puppet, it's time to wake up. You are being played by a system that needs you to keep spending to keep you compliant